Hello everyone and welcome. It's me, 𝐷𝗕𝗢𝗓 Justice Folly, host of Featured Justice Talks. And I'm a student at 𝐷𝗕𝗢𝗓 School Online Academy where I focus on developing my skills in AI communication and much more. Today I'm happy to have Anthony Cutno, CEO and founder of Divine Warriors Dimension with us. He is dedicated to helping men grow emotionally, spiritually, and purposely, and also, he is a digital creator who has built a community inspiring personal growth and meaningful change. We are excited to hear more about his journey. Thank you for being here, Anthony. Let's dive in. Starting with, can you tell me about your journey and what inspired you to start Divine Warriors Dimension?
Yeah, sure. And thank you for that intro. You did. That was very nice. For me, it started on its own. I didn't go looking for it. I didn't seek it. I didn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna go start it." But it literally developed and started on its own. So it's with me a very spiritual oriented, servant leadership, and that's actually how the business started. It transitioned for me when I was in the Marine Corps until now. My leader in the Marine Corps, my sergeant major, he got me into this, and so I've been doing this for about 4 years now. Yeah, going on 4 years now. And for me, it's a bunch of different sides. So it's self therapy, along with me giving back. Then I found my purpose, and helping men and other veterans and whoever else. Not just specifically them, but mostly them. Um, and so for me, the journey it hasn't been easy, but it has been fruitful, beneficial in many other ways. And so with that now it's just growing, getting the message out, getting people on board. Now that I transitioned into an institute where I bring beginner entrepreneurs and young people like yourself and other men and beginner entrepreneurs, and I connect them with a bunch of other entrepreneurs that are already well established, doing what they're doing, just teaching and learning and you know giving back and putting your money where your mouth is. So for me, it's mostly spiritually guided, spiritually led, not really financially driven, even though obviously that's a part of it. And then it just literally giving back and teaching and just leaving a legacy.
Amazing. So, in all this, I really like the part you said you guide people spiritually. So, would you like to tell me that how you guide people spiritually? Any kind of um, like, do you conversate with them or what kind of thing you do?
Yeah, it's a mixture of back and forth conversation, using myself as example, my own spiritual journey, because that's how this actually started. Like the very night it started, then the first time on stage, the night before that, and so forth and so forth. Like me myself, um, I grew up in a church, mixture of Christianity, Muslim, and a little bit of Buddhist up in there also, but it's mostly I grew up mostly Christian. And throughout my time, I traveled around the world in the Marine Corps, coming up with different people, religions, backgrounds, and me just being curious myself. And so it's mostly conversation. And I let everybody know that if you want to work with me, do business with me, have me coach you, teach whoever, God is going to be all a part of it. So me, I dabble, I won't say dabble, I read. Like right now, I'm reading the Gita right now. This is what I'm reading now. The Bhagavad Gita. That's what I'm reading now, along with along with my Bible, go back and forth between that and so shit. Oh, so with me, everything I do is guided by spiritual, some type of that's what the name is. All I did was just put an E where the I is, but it's that's basically what it is. So everything I do, write, speak, all that is spiritually guided. You know, different people, religions, a little bit of Buddhist, a little bit of Muslim, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, so it's everyone's welcome, and it's like you say, conversation, a little bit of teaching, finding your purpose. I bring that into when I'm teaching about my mirror branding and mirror networking along with my institute that I have. So all of this is faith driven, spiritual driven. So it is.
Wow, it's amazing. So, as you showed your books, the one name was Bible and the second was, I don't know its name.
Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. These two books, what do you find most interesting in them and what did you learn from them at this moment as you were reading it before?
That they're both different, but they're the same. You know, the Bible is the Bible. You know, it talks about that. The Bhagavad Gita, I'm just now getting into that, but it's mixed to me is a mixture of Buddhism, Christianity. You know, to me it's like a mixture of all. So I'm just now learning getting into that. However, it's a different perspective, it's something that can be brought into everyday life, give you another sense of, I say, a level of thinking, you know, the sense of, and then with me in particular, with myself, I've died a few times, and every time I died, I went to hell. I didn't go to heaven. I didn't go. I went to purgatory and hell, and talking with the demons, I hear them. Me myself, I've I'll say death has been chasing me since before I was born. It goes all the way back into my actual birth, all the way until now, life and stuff like that. So it's giving me a sense of guidance. I would say that sense of guidance. To keep me level-headed, let me know that everything we do in this world is connected. So like, but my institute would call it the collective, because everything you do, no matter what your religion, what you believe in, it's to me is just broken down to the region that it is specific to for the people. However, it's all the same. To me, it's all the same, just different names, different perspectives, different writings, from the backgrounds and where the continent is and how the people live. So, everyone needs something to believe in. So to me, all religions are different. However, the basic foundation belief is the same. And to me, that's my life. That's how I do. That's how I do business. That's how I do my pricings. That's how I do who I choose to talk to and stuff. Like doing an interview with you. You're not the first one I've done. I've done a few of y'all. Even my business partner. I'm not gonna assume where you're from, but I'm gonna assume my business partner. Y'all from the same country. So I done been all over, been all in the Middle East, all over Saudi Arabia and different other places, so worldly perspective. So that's what it does for me. It gives me, allow me to teach it, speak it, and live it.
Well, that's amazing that you actually accept everything, and I really like it. Moving to my next question, uh, what were the biggest challenges you faced when building your platform, and how did you overcome them?
I overcome it just by doing it. I'm still doing it now. So for me, it's just I'll say move it on faith. 'Cause it's not easy, it's not hard, it's not a lot of money in it. I don't make a lot of money from doing what I'm doing. So, but there's the intention behind it. So I know what my intent is. I already know it's gonna be hard. I know it's gonna be struggle, cry, blah, 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 all that in between stuff. So that doesn't faze me in any way, shape, or form. You just suffer through it, struggle through it, and keep on moving. So for me, it's just getting used to being uncomfortable, getting comfortable being uncomfortable, and just moving past the barriers and just know that the outcome and the beginning is everything in between is just a journey. And you can use it to as a testament, you can use it as a writing, you can use it as it is what it is. So for me right now, I say my struggle is getting on social media, talking to myself on social media. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, build up my TikTok and my followers and all that stuff. So that's the next step is getting past that because I'm a real introvert, extrovert, but I like being introverted. So being out in the open, being on social media, showing my face, talking, I'm not comfortable, but I make it seem like I am, but I don't like it. But I know it's part of the process.
Wow, it's really amazing and I like it. Now moving to my next question, I want to ask that how do you define emotional, spiritual, and purposeful growth for men, and why is it important?
Um, for me, and I'll start by going backwards. It's important because that is what God intent. God's intent. It is God, man, woman, children. The woman comes from the man comes from the God, and the children comes from both of them. However, the man dictates the sex of the child, and the woman, it sound harsh, but nature, woman is just an incubator and a nurturer. And so that's how I intend it. And when the head of the household is not right, the house is not right. So I don't believe in happy wife, happy house, happy. I don't believe all of that. If the head of the household is level-headed, then everyone else is going to follow suit. However, though, he needs to also accept that she is a partner. He is the leader. So she can say her input, but he has the last say. And for me, I just take that and just morph it into whatever the individual person needs. But I keep that in mind that if the man is not right, the rest of the family is not right. The children are not going to be raised right. The wife is going to be going about whatever she doing, and all that stuff, and it's just going to fall apart. So when it comes to life, trauma, issues, wherever the case may be, as long as the man's mental is good, they're good men, bad men, and all that stuff. But as long as that man is mentally good, then everything else is going to follow suit. Business, money, job, house, kids, all of that. So when a man is not in the house and the man is in the house, but he's not mentally sound to handle where everything goes along with it, it's going to the same exact thing going to happen when he's not, it's going to fall apart. So what I try and do is like for me myself, going through trauma and issues and depression and suicide and all that stuff like that. I don't know what I did, how I did it. I just know God was a part of it and I am how I am now and I'm able to express that and teach that. So when I have my men and also the few women that talk to, that's how I steer them in that direction.
Oh, wow, it's really interesting, and I like the way you explained it, and I really understand about that. Yeah. So now I need to ask you. This is the question this was in my mind before I started the interview. So the question is that can you share me any story of someone whose life was transformed through divine various dimension?
Yeah, I can say, hmm, I'll say, who can I be? Okay, I'm not, it was a late, it was her son. It was her son. And, again, father not around, all that stuff like that. So, he only coached him for maybe a week or two. He did my 2 week course. Yeah, he did my 2 week, 3 week course. And so it was basically building up his confidence and the structure and stuff like that. So but he was 16, 17, something like that, somewhere up in there. Real shy, soft spoken and all that stuff like that. And but mom wanted some guidance for him and everything. So came to me. So basically all I did was it wasn't hard. It really wasn't hard. So not really a real big story. It wasn't hard at all. He just really needed guidance and structure and a man to talk to and to look at from his point of view, along with giving the mom some things to do because women can't raise men. They be trying, but they can't do it. So all I did was listen to him, talk to him, um, gave him my perspective, gave him some things to do outside of the classes, and that was really it. So men are not as difficult as people make them out to seem. Like a man may seem like he going through it because he crying, boo-hooing, blah blah. But men are real easy. Men are real easy. So now he is he's about to move out the house. He's on his own. He's older now, so so now the mom might be coming on as one of my clients. So I might be coaching women now. So, but it is what it is. I say another one, grown man. It was a grown man, and same thing. He just didn't have a community, didn't have anyone to really listen to, talk to. So again, men are easy. Like we deal with stress and trauma, differently. So a quick, what, half hour over twice a week, 3 weeks or more, and boom, done. Give a plan, something to move on, listen to, information, and that's what it is. And again, God isn't everything. So when you bring him, things become easy. So not to go deep into it, but yeah, that's what it is. Another one of my clients, I was his client, and now he's my client coaching. So now he was my client for marketing, and now he's my client for coaching and because I also coach how to speak. And so same thing, it just build up confidence, and that's what it is. So men are not that hard. Again, men are easy. Women make it difficult.
Okay, I understand it. And I like the first story you shared of that boy. That was amazing.
Mhm.
So I would like to ask, as you are a digital creator and an entrepreneur, how did you balance your personal growth with guiding other people?
That is my goal. Like I said, this is also my self-therapy, because I was depressed, suicidal, years for some years and living all that stuff like that. So myself going to therapy, listening, taking it seriously, journaling, like, I use this is my little journal here. The other one I have right here. So just accountability, looking at oneself, being honest with oneself, knowing oneself, understanding oneself, having that understanding along with the understanding and just being honest. So, and taking things seriously that one person can affect a whole group of people without even knowing it, just by not being mentally sound and everything straight. So, with me, this is also my self therapy when it comes to the social media aspect of it. I try not to get too involved with all the nonsense on social media. However, I do listen to it because it is real world happening. I see it in my own family. So, no, me, I try to like right now, I'm just trying to get used to a little reels. Like I did a reel a couple of days ago, and it was about God. So that's how I come at it. And then I just be myself and just know that if I do get negative haters, comments, whatever, it is what it is. Because ain't nobody gonna come and say it to my face. So it is what it is. So me, I'm just trying to get on social media and use it in a positive light, positive way, positive message, and God, keep God in, and just whatever negative come, it is what it is.
Okay, that's really amazing, and the way you manage them. Okay, talking on your own personal growth, I want to ask that um, as that you like as you coach people's, how you learned coaching people's, how you did that, or how like I just want to ask your how you started that, how you learned this thing, and why you want to come in this field, and yeah.
Yeah. So with me, I would say it came naturally. It came naturally. Like I learned a lot of stuff in the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps taught me a lot, taught me how to speak, taught me how to talk, along with my upbringing. But as a adult, it was the Marine Corps. It was the Marine Corps learning because we get thrown into speaking, being confident, being in front of people, all that stuff like that. So a lot of it came from that, along with things I've seen, along with things that I've been through, and then just take all of that and just transition over into this and just dealing with people because Marine Corps dealt with a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different races, a lot of different countries. So different positions, different roles. So it just naturally just dealing with people and understanding people. Then again, knowing oneself, understanding yourself on the inside. So when you can do that and you can do it in a positive way, then things like this is going to naturally happen. And like I say for me earlier, I didn't go looking for this. It literally found me. So, and then just as time went on, I just adapted to what the people were asking for that was coming to me. Like my publishing. I didn't start that. I started because the client, that's what he asked for. That's what they came to me. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I have a publishing company. Same thing with the coaching. I got asked. People came to me. So now I'm a speaker coach. So it just naturally formed or organically. And not a lot of my life, but some of my life, that's just how it happened. It literally led by God, led by faith. And so when you understanding it and you're listening and you're moving on and you're moving in that way, things start to happen, connections start to make, your third eye begins to open, you begin to see things and recognize things, and people like a planet gravitate towards it. And I've been blessed enough that I don't do anything special. I don't have no special techniques, no special things. I don't wake up at 4 in the morning and do this and that. I don't do those things. I live my life how it goes and adapt to what things happen, plan for certain things and move on faith. And whatever issues, problem come up, pray about it, think about it, write about it, and just deal with it.
It's amazing, Anthony. Like everything come to you very naturally, and yeah, it's very amazing. And it's first time me hearing this, and I'm also very much curious. I hope I can learn more about this. Okay, now I want to ask you that what habits, practices, and mindset shifts shifts were most important in your own journey of growth?
Me is removing self-doubt and understanding that things are gonna happen and just do your best to plan for the worst and adapt to it and just not and then don't dwell in the struggle, don't dwell in the pain, don't dwell in the setbacks. Just understand that it's a part of life. Life is not easy. God, God and Allah, whoever you pray to, believe in, we are meant here to struggle. That's how you know who you are. That's how you find yourself. That's how you become who you are. Because if people dwell in the easiness and you get comfortable, you get lazy. That's how people get fat. That's how people fall into depression. That's how people can't take no for an answer. You know, they flip out and you tell them no, or you tell them to just no, no. So for me, it's again being comfortable, uncomfortable, and knowing that it is what it is. This is life. Life is gonna hurt. You're gonna fall. You're gonna pain. You're gonna cry. You're gonna get your heart broken. You're gonna fail at some things and blah blah blah. All of that. And that's what God is for. That's what faith is for. That's what hope. That's what courage. That's what grit, grind. All of that comes from that. Me, I have a plate in my head. I deal with seizures. I deal with epilepsy. I deal with the pain and depression. And one kid is in another country, other kid is in another country, and this and that. Life is life. So that's how I do things. That's how I handle things. And just do your best to have as many positive, like-minded people in your circle that you think you can trust, you believe you can trust, and lean on them and let them lean on you. And if not, lean on the Lord, lean on Allah, lean on whoever you pray to. You pray to somebody, pray to something. Have some type of faith. Have to understand that you are not it. You're not all. You're not the shit. You're not famous. You're not this. You're just a living, breathing vessel for the spiritual people. So for me, that's how I look at things and just go with it.
It's amazing. I like it. That's many different things. Wow. Okay, now I want to ask you that where do you see divine various dimension in the next 5 or 10 years, and what impact do you hope to make?
Um, for me, I hope that eventually it becomes self-reliant. I want to start a nonprofit, which is I'm trying to do that now. That's where the institute comes that I'm building. But within the next 5 years, I want this to be self-reliant, worldwide as possible, and helping as many people as possible, so that I can fall back and I can live my time and go see my kids and spend the time with my kids and do my own traveling and my own speaking and stuff like that. So that's eventually what I want to do, have it become self-reliant, and I'm still going to be fully involved, but I'll free up some more time to spend time with my kids and myself.
Wow, amazing. So now I would like to ask you for young peoples like me who want to rise emotionally, spiritually, and purposely, what is the single most important action they should take today?
Don't give up, keep going, and look for mentorship and guidance. That's what I say. And then come over to my institute, because that's what my institute is for. My institute is for the young people, the youth that want to learn and grow along with the other, adults, but that's what it's for. So tell all the young people, look me up on Google. You got me on Facebook and all of that. You can find me on TikTok, social media, Instagram, all of that, and just come on over. Come on over. Everyone is welcome. And we're gonna learn, we're gonna grow, and that's again, That's what it's all about. You know, my son, I got a 16-year-old and 10-year-old and a 7-year-old princess. That's my baby, and this is for them. The podcast that I'm doing, that idea came from my 10-year-old son. And he's in Germany. Him and his friends be doing stuff. I'm like, oh, he said, Daddy, when we do a podcast for the kids? And I'm like, okay, cool. You want to do a podcast for the kids so he can learn because he has his little YouTube channel that he's trying to do and help his friends and stuff. So that's why I tell you, don't give up. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna fail. You're gonna be told no. You're gonna to get set back and lost and all of that in between stuff. Just keep pushing and stay in school and learn.
Wow, that's amazing. And I really like this advice of yours, and I'll also be following this. So, moving to my last question for today's interview. So, if you could leave every man in your community with one lesson or principle that could change their life forever, what would it be?
That God has a purpose for you. Not even death can stop that purpose. And you see that God had a purpose for Jesus. And what happened? They tried to kill Jesus, and he came right back on and doing what he was doing. So as it is, and we are all God body. We are all vessels of Christ, no matter who you believe, and just don't give up. But don't be stupid about it either. So be smart about it, but don't give up. Keep on pushing.
Wow, that's amazing. I really like it. So thank you so much, Anthony, for sharing your journey and many more things with me today. I really enjoyed it because I learned more about you and your work with Divine Warriors Dimension. Is really inspiring and interesting. And I'm sure our audience has learned a lot about emotional, spiritual, and personal growth. To everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us on Future Justice Talks. Stay motivated, stay curious, and keep striving to grow every day. Thank you so much, and bye bye.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.